What if the thing keeping you from getting more clients isn't actually the problem? I mean, you might think you need more content. Maybe you think you need a bigger email list. Maybe you think you need a brand new lead magnet. Or maybe you think it's time to spend the next 3 weeks redoing your website because that's fun, right? Here's the thing. Before you add one more thing to your marketing, I want to ask you a different question. Where are people actually getting stuck in your business? Because you don't need to fix everything. We need to fix the right thing. And I've talked before about why visibility alone doesn't create clients. But today we're taking that conversation a step further, because what happens when you know something isn't working in your business, but you don't actually know what isn't working? So I'm going to repeat that. What happens when you know, you're like, I know something is not right in my business, but you don't actually know what that thing is? That's when I see business owners starting to try to fix everything. They get out their tools, the screwdriver, the hammer, the new content, the new lead magnet. I'm going to make a new website, new offer, new platform, maybe even an entirely new marketing strategy, right? And sometimes none of those things were actually the problem. So today I want to show you how to figure out where your path to clients is actually breaking down so you can fix the right thing instead of getting out the toolbox and trying to hammer together all the things and figuring it out and not ending up in the right place. One of the things I find myself saying all the time on my coaching calls recently is some version of, nope, that's not actually the thing. Because business owners, we are really good at noticing a symptom and then immediately jumping to deciding that we know the cause. It's my email list. I need another lead magnet. Why am I not getting clients? I must need more visibility. Nobody bought my offer. Well, then the offer must be wrong. My emails aren't converting. Oh gosh, I need to rewrite my welcome sequence. Well, maybe, but maybe not. And fixing the wrong problem is expensive. Sometimes literally expensive in terms of money, but also think about it being expensive in terms of energy and time and attention and just exhaustion. If you spend 3 weeks rebuilding something that was never preventing people from buying in the first place, that's a waste of time. So today I want to help you stop the add more, add more reflex, add more content, add more platforms, add more strategies. And instead, I want you to ask, where are people actually getting stuck in my business? Because if you're not getting enough clients, the first thing to figure out is where people stop before taking the next step with you. So let's figure that out first. Let's say the problem you're trying to solve is, I'm not getting enough clients. You're like, Tracy, I am not getting enough clients. Okay, all right. Don't try to solve it yet. I want us to back up a little bit. Are people actually being given opportunities to become clients? Are you making offers? Are you inviting people to work with you? Are you following up on warm leads? Are you having conversations with potential clients? Because if the answer is no, changing your offer isn't necessarily the first move. You may simply not have enough people reaching that part of the process. This is why I want you to work backward instead of immediately jumping to fix whatever feels the most obvious. One of the biggest places I see online business owners getting stuck is they aren't having enough conversations. And I'll tell you, they're visible. You're visible, right? You're creating the content, sending the emails, doing the networking, guesting on the podcast. You're doing all kinds of the right things. But visibility by itself isn't enough. Everything stops at the visibility. No, because nobody's replying, nobody's DMing, they're not following up, they're not starting conversations. And somehow we're expecting clients to magically appear at the end. That's why I teach that visibility creates conversations, conversations create opportunities, and opportunities create clients. Visibility isn't supposed to carry the entire load. It's supposed to create the next thing. So if you're visible but you're not getting clients, I want you to ask yourself, is my visibility creating conversations? If not, that may be the problem to solve. And here's an important distinction. The reason your visibility isn't converting into clients may be a missing step, not a lack of reach. I want you to hear me on that. The reason your visibility isn't converting to clients may be a missing step, not your lack of reach. But more reach doesn't automatically fix a missing step. So I want us to find out, are people able to take the next step with us? Maybe people are finding you. They're listening to your podcast. They're seeing your reels. They're meeting you at networking events. They're watching you inside the Facebook group communities or the school community or the Mighty Networks community where you're active. Great. Now what? What are you asking them to do next? Is there a clear invitation? Can they join your list? Do they know how? Do they know why they want to join it? What's in it for them to join it? Are you giving them a reason? Are you inviting them into another conversation? Because people finding you and people entering your world, two completely different things. Those are two completely different steps. And this is where a lot of business owners think, I need more visibility. I just need to create more content. I just need to get out there more. But more people seeing you and being aware of you won't necessarily solve a broken next step, like I'm mentioning. If 100 people find you, nobody knows what to do next. Getting 1,000 people to find you just gives you 900 more confused people. Look at me doing math. I should not do math public and live. That's a recipe for disaster. But I stepped through that one. That was simple math. Okay, listen, that's not the growth strategy we're looking for. If you're just adding more people in, you're just adding more people into the gap. So let's talk about your email list. This is another place I see people jump to the wrong solution. Let's say your email list isn't growing. So you think, I need a new lead magnet. My lead magnets stink. Well, no. Okay, not so fast. Let's back it up. Before you spend the next 2 weeks creating another freebie, I want you to stop and think for a second. Are enough new people discovering the one you already have? Meaning, does it have enough visibility? Are you promoting it enough for people to know it exists? Are you consistently talking about it? Are you putting it in front of new audiences, or are you not? Your audience isn't growing online and you're just hammering it in front of the same people. And your messaging has to give your ideal clients a compelling reason to subscribe. Are people clicking on it? They see it on social media and they're clicking on it and they're getting to your landing page, but they're not opting in. Those are all different problems that we need to look at. Because if your email list isn't growing, I don't want you automatically creating another free lead magnet. I want us to determine together whether enough new people are discovering the free resource you have or whether they have a compelling reason to subscribe. You may have an outstanding lead magnet. A lot of my students and clients do. They'll say, Tracy, this lead magnet stinks. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. And we go look at it, and it's not the lead magnet itself. It's everything they're doing to let people know about it. So if 12 people know it exists, and that's all that know, we don't have enough information to declare that lead magnet is broken. 12 people does not solve the mystery. One of my clients recently said, I think I need to redo my welcome sequence. She Voxered me that, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I asked her, I said, what do you think's wrong with it? And she said, I just want it to be the best it can be. I said, okay, cool. I said, but before you go do anything with this and spend time rewriting an entirely new 3 email welcome sequence, go find your numbers. I asked her, I said, go into your email service provider, into the dashboard, and tell me the stats. I want to know the open rate. I want to know the click-through rate. Y'all, the open rate, you're going to fall out of your chair. The open rate on her welcome sequence, 71%. Right? Did your jaw just drop on the floor like mine did when she said it to me? 71%. You're going to die when I tell you the click rate. The click rate was 11%. 11%. She was way above industry average. And I was like, in all capital letters, do not touch that welcome sequence, ma'am. Don't touch it. I said, it's working so well. I said, listen, all we're going to do right now is we're going to monitor it every few months. And if you see an actual drop in open rate or a drop in click-through rate, then send up a flare to me at Tracy Beavers Coaching, and I'll swoop in and help, and we'll see if it actually needs to be rewritten. So my point here again is before you go trying to fix a bunch of stuff, let's actually look at what's happening. And here's a question people ask me. They're like, Tracy, do I need more visibility? Well, sometimes visibility actually is the problem. Because like I say, maybe you've got that free resource or your welcome sequence is great. People reply, your offers convert when the right people see them, but hardly any new people are discovering you. Well, now we know what to work on. We need to get more of the right people finding you. And this is where organic visibility strategies become really powerful. I'm talking about collaborations, podcast guesting, networking, speaking, strategic communities like Facebook groups and school communities where your ideal clients are hanging out or your collaboration partners are hanging out. I'm talking about referral partners, building those relationships. I don't want you chained to your phone posting 7 times a day because some big name, somebody told you that's what growing an online business requires. It's BS. I'm calling BS on it. I'm a prime example of not being on all the platforms and not, oh my Lord in heaven, if I posted 7 times a day, no, just no. I don't believe you need to immediately buy ads every time you want people to discover you. That's the other thing people think. They think, I got to ramp up my posting. I got to just 56 times a day. No. And then the second thing they think is, I'll just go throw some paid ads at it. No, not yet. I want your business consistently creating opportunities for new right fit people to discover you organically without you having to be online 24/7 or consider paying for ads. That is what strategic visibility is all about. So what about this? What about this question? What if people are talking to you but not buying? Let's say you've worked backward and the earlier pieces are happening. Okay, we've got evidence that people are finding you. They're joining your list. They're engaging. They're having conversations. You're making the invitation and they're still not buying. Now we have a different problem to investigate because now, all right, maybe it is the offer. Maybe it's the positioning. Maybe your marketing messaging isn't making the value clear. Maybe you're attracting the wrong people. Maybe there's a sales issue. But notice how far we get before we decided that the offer was broken. We have to look at all these other things before we decide, okay, the offer is broken. And that's the point. Don't start rebuilding the offer before you've established that people are actually reaching it. It's the right one for them and your messaging is on point to attract them. So we need to find where people are stopping taking the next step, if I even said that grammatically correct. We need to find out where people are stopping in your business, stopping before they take the next step. So here's your assignment. I want you to look at one of the results in your business that you're not happy with. Maybe it's, I'm not getting enough clients. All right, that's fair. Now work backward and answer these questions. Am I consistently inviting people to work with me? Am I creating enough opportunities? Am I having enough conversations? Are people joining my list or maybe my free Facebook group or my school community? Are people taking a next step after they see my name and become aware of me? And enough new right fit people discovering you in the first place? Then I want you to keep backing up until you see where things are stopped. See where things have stopped moving. That's where I want you to focus, on that one thing. Not 6 things, not a complete marketing overhaul, not a new funnel because somebody on Instagram told you funnels are the answer. I want you looking at one problem, one next step. I want you to fix that and then look again. Now, what's the big takeaway from all this mess that I just shared with you? I want you to remember this the next time you're tempted to burn your business to the ground because something in it isn't moving fast enough. Because the problem you notice first isn't always the problem you need to solve first. I want you to diagnose before you add. I want you to diagnose before you rebuild, burn down and rebuild. I want you to diagnose before you buy another course. For the love of all that's holy, please diagnose before you buy another course or hire another coach. Yes, I sell courses. Yes, I'm a coach. But, I mean, unless, of course, it's me. Okay, then you can hire me all day long and twice on Sunday. I'm kidding. You know what my point is. Figure out if you actually need the course. Figure out if that coach is actually the right fit. And definitely diagnose before you create another lead magnet that you don't actually need. Because, my friend, you may not need more marketing. You may just need a better next step. You may not need a bigger audience. You may have plenty of people swimming in your pool between your email list and your free community if you have one. And you might not need a bigger audience. You may just need more conversations with the people that are already in your swimming pool, right? Or you may discover that, yes, oh yeah, Tracy, yep, visibility is the problem. Not enough new right fit people are finding me. Okay, great. Well, now we know. And now we can choose organic visibility strategies designed to solve that problem without requiring you to be online all day or dumping money into ads. Now, my friend, the whole heart of what I teach inside Business Visibility Made Easy. It's my 8-week group coaching accelerator. You hear me talk about it all the time. The whole heart of what I teach is based on what I'm talking about today, making sure the content we have, the visibility we have, is growing our lists, bringing in more leads so we can have more conversations. That drives more visibility, which leads to more conversations, and the business just keeps growing. And I am there by your side in this 8-week group coaching accelerator to make sure that you have enough visibility for people to find you, bring them into your business, and that you are not missing a step. You're not getting stuck and they're not getting stuck when it comes to moving through the pipeline, the funnel, the conveyor belt is what I like to call it, of your business. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the doors to Business Visibility Made Easy right now are closed. They're going to open soon. I want you to be the first people to know, to be in line when they are. The link for you, for the YouTubers, is in the show notes, tracybeavers.biz/VIP. If you're listening on the podcast, again, the doors are closed right now when you hear this, so get on the wait list. Now, what does it mean to be on the wait list? Waitlisters get VIP offers and my best bonus package that we offer all year. That's why you want to buy from the waitlist. Podcasters, go to tracybeavers.biz/VIP waitlist to get on the wait list there and get your special offer. And remember, don't go it alone. You hear me say this every single week. Sometimes it feels like your business is absolutely on fire and you're selling out and your store shelves are empty because everybody bought what you got. And other times it's like you can't attract anybody into the front of your store to save your life. And if you think you're alone in that, you are absolutely not. I want you to get into a community of support, and remember that being surrounded by other people doing what you're doing is the best way to move yourself forward. Remember that one of us rises, we all will rise. So we have to keep cheering each other on.